Now, we got a bunch of stuff to get into in this video, but I wanted to start with a quote from Tim Pool right now, right here. He's doing it on a video that, theories have emerged that the trans boyfriend was a real shooter behind the Charlie Kirk assassination. And he's talking about the current level of like conspiracy theory, hypothesis and all that stuff. And he makes such a good point here that I have tried my best to be exactly not what he's talking about and being what he is trying to promote.
They killed Charlie Kirk, dude. And it's weird to me that these conspiracy theories are, is it for views? I don't know, but it's effectively absolving violent far leftists that have been threatening Charlie Kirk's life for a long time and who are the primary suspects in this.
A lot of the...
That is exactly correct. And that is why in every single video, if you listen to what I'm saying, because I have no idea who did this. I literally have no idea. I've never said anything other than that I have no idea. The first couple videos that I did, the first time that I even entertained that it could be anyone other than the far leftist was the one that I did about the remote bomb. And in that theory, even in my theory, I said, if they did this, for sure, there was still foreknowledge, a massive amount of these radical leftists who were at the event, and they used the fact that these were murderous psychos anyway, including, they set up the patsy, whatever it is. Like, I want to be crystal clear about this. There is no world where the radical leftists are not involved in this. Okay. Like, that is not a thing. The only thing that I have said for certain as I've been covering this case is that they are involved for sure. For sure. Now, whether they got used by a foreign government is irrelevant to me, honestly, like as it relates to what needs to happen in this country to deal with the radical far left, violent, crazy person problem. Okay. And as another example, yesterday when I dropped the Candace video, I had at least 3 people shoot me messages and they're like, dude, don't go down Candace Owens conspiracy theory rabbit hole. And I'm like, I'm not. Why would you think that I was? And they're like, it sounded like you were signing off on her theory, or that that Tyler Robinson wasn't the shooter. I'm like, that's not what I said at all. If I'm gonna say that, I will say it. What I said was that I respected Candace because if someone brought that information to me, I would not put it out in case it's true. Okay, I would be too afraid. Like, I'd be too afraid for my family. I'd be like, no fucking way. I'm not putting that shit out. Now, to be fair, after getting those messages, I realized there was a whole talk track that I completely forgot to put in that video when I thought about it. And this is exactly what that is, okay? So it sounds like Candace probably has a source that is in or near Tyler Robinson's family, right? And candidly, you cannot trust anything that they say, okay? Not really. Now, they might be telling the truth, 100%. But you have to go in with questions because their kid is sitting on death row potentially, right? Like, he's facing the death penalty. What would you do to protect your kid, even in that situation? Even if they killed a political person, it's your son, dude. It's your son, right? You might turn him in, and then you come home and you start sleeping on that for a week or two, and it might start eating you alive. It might start eating you alive. You might be looking for a way to get your son out of this jam, and you see the most popular podcaster in the world is a radical conspiracy theorist, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna plant a bug in her head. We got Kash Patel, who already gave these alternate, possibilities. Like, let's get our son off, and we'll deal with this as a family afterwards. Okay. Now, do I know that that's the case? No, not at all. But I still respect the hell out of Candace for putting it out because she for sure believes it. That's all that matters to me, dude. I don't care if people are right or wrong. All I care about is that they believe what they're saying, and she always believes what she's saying. No one is going to convince me that she doesn't believe what she's saying when she puts it out. Okay. But as far as I'm concerned, no one's going to convince me radical far leftists were not involved in this, even if there is a bigger thing that's going on above it. And I needed to say that in the front side of this video. Oh, and if you enjoy the work that I do when I gut Destiny publicly, you're going to want to watch for a video that's going to drop either today or tomorrow titled, Leftists Attack Erika Kirk, or Destiny Does Whatever. So keep a lookout for that. Now, if it was his son sitting in prison, I would be like, the kid probably did it, weirdo. Or Destiny probably framed him because he didn't like the idea of having to buy him a car when he's 16. You know what I mean? Hey, and if he doesn't like it, all he has to do is just stop talking shit to Charlie Kirk's widow or saying nasty things that he should know by now. I'm going to see, and I'm going to light him up super hard every single time. This is just going to get worse from here. If he wants the attention, I'll give him the attention. I have nothing but time, dude, and endless energy for this. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So I have seen more and more today, especially a massive increase in suspicion on the internet of Erika Kirk. I'm not really sure where this is coming from, or like, you know, if there's a concerted effort to kind of make it go that way by, you know, bots that like kind of do this, or if this is totally organic and people are like, we really think that she did this, whatever. Okay. But the bottom line is this, right? What I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to show you this behavioral analysis video that the behavioral arts put up today. And it shows her interaction with Trump. He does this whole thing analyzing her throughout the entire memorial, but it also shows this part I'm going to show you is her interaction with Trump, which is very interesting because apparently the big like conspiracy theory on X now is that Erika Kirk did it and she's having an affair with Trump. It's like, oh my God, guys, relax. Okay. I can promise you, Trump is not involved in this no matter what, okay? That's not a thing, okay? But we're going to look at this because people are talking about it a lot. And then we're going to look at, actually, you know what? We're actually going to start with that because there's something crazy, kind of like the exact opposite side of the kind of like conspiracy theory stuff. Like you want to go from who did it, and then we could go to cosmic simulation theory with evidence that is pretty crazy, dude. And then we're just going to look at some really, really garbage people. Everybody's favorite garbage pail kid, Destiny, talking shit about Erika Kirk again and again and again. And so we're going to get him, dude. I know you guys love when I shit on Destiny because why would you not love that? He begs for it. He absolutely begs for it, you know? All I see when I look at him is just he's a bully, dude. And I'm like, I like beating up bullies, you know? Internet beating them up. Yeah, it's one of those things, dude. He's got a sharp mind, but you want to talk stats and whatever politics, okay. Let's see who's better at making fun of people, or exposing people who are bad actors who are pretending to be something that they are absolutely not. Let's dance, dude. Let's fucking dance. And then I'm going to show a couple like legit psychos, like this person who's running for Congress. And when I show you this TikTok that she put up, this one right here, it is monstrous on a level that is, it's one of those things. It's like, I'm going to show you exactly who she is. Get her, go get her. Let's go talk to her a little bit, and then just some more total psychos. And, that's what we're going to do. So listen, here is what I always say. Well, what I've said recently, right? This is Destiny, okay? Right here, you can see, right? Someone says, I find it weird how a widow has stepped into the CEO role. And Destiny today commented, it's because she probably fucking hated her husband, LOL. So if that is in poor taste and makes you think he's the biggest piece of shit on earth, I agree. And also, what I always say is, if you don't mind subscribing to my channel, that's all I ask. If you're going to watch my content, please subscribe to the channel. And what I say is, if the only kind of person who would like not do that, if I'm like, it's on the honor system, I can't defend, I can't like enforce it, but I would expect people who are like Destiny fans would probably just watch even after we just made a gentleman's agreement that you guys, agreed to as of this moment. So don't be a fucking Destiny fan, that's all there is to it. And every time I say that, I gain such an astronomical amount of subscribers that it's amazing, because this guy, we're going to talk a lot more about this in a second when we get to this portion. He's a cash register, dude. And I don't mean like views. I mean, he is the absolute best thing for the conservative MAGA movement that has ever existed, to the point where I think he might be a sleeper cell. Like, he might actually be our number one guy, and he just is so gangster. He's been undercover this whole time because he's such a repugnant little weasel and has driven so many people over to our side that he's our MVP. Anyway, we're going to get into that in a second. But first, let's look at this craziness that I just referenced. So we're going to be having some very serious conversations later about, again, whodunit conspiracy theories. But we're going to take some time for some cosmic simulation theory. I have no idea what to make of this other than to just show it to you guys and you tell me what you think. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the stuff with the connections between the movie Snake Eyes and the Charlie Kirk assassination. I realize how insane that probably sounds. But what the theory essentially is, actually, I'm just going to Okay, this is actually perfect. Okay, so this is Play with Matches. This is my channel that I do with Gabrielle, my wife. And this is the video that we actually dropped this morning about, well, we actually dropped a bunch of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff in this video, but we covered some of this, and it's got 104,000 views in 7 hours, dude, which is crazy. We've never had a video go over 100,000. It's a newer channel, you know. But look, so this is a super quick breakdown of the connection between the movie Snake Eyes and the Assassination, and then I'm going to show you this new thing with Erika Kirk that's super, super wild. Okay, watch this. But let's just have this guy explain it to us. Check this.
Cage, a politician named Charlie Kirkland. Charlie Kirkland, a politician, gets assassinated in the neck in very almost identical spot. And it is during a boxing match on September 10th. Here's the poster. And the man starring
Can you see? Yeah.
in the fight is Tyler the Executioner. I usually don't believe in coincidences, but I just don't understand how this is possible. The same date, the big event, the big distraction is the fight of
Tyler the Executioner. The guy when he gets killed, the Charles Kirkland, when he gets killed, he gets shot in the neck, literally right. The exact spot where Charlie was killed or was shot. So this is another clip from Snake Eyes. Okay, so this is a clip from Snake Eyes that I pulled from this video that this guy didn't actually catch either, and so I read it in the comments, and I was like, no way, watch this. Okay,
being shown, spoken, and shouted out throughout the movie. I won't go into numerology behind it all. I'm not an expert in that. Don't feel like pretending.
Look at that. Look at the numbers over there in the corner.
That I am.
910. Also from the Snake Eyes movie. 910 right there. Okay. Now, I'm sure that people are like, oh, whatever, you know, whatever. But it's like, guys, all right, like, you really think that that's not kind of weird? Like, I'm not saying what do I have any idea what this means? You know, like, that's what Gabrielle and I were talking about in that, you know, in that episode. It's like, does this mean simulation theory? Does this mean, like, I literally have no idea what to make of this. Okay. Charles Kirkland shot in the neck. Tyler the Executioner, September, whatever, like everyone was reporting that it was September 10th, you know, in the movie. Okay. Well, watch this. So this is a music video that Erika Kirk was in 13 years ago. You see this? 13 years ago right there. Okay. So let's watch a little bit of this. All right. Watch this. Okay. So I have to keep the sound off because, you know, they'll copyright, but, like, you know, this is a long time ago. She's Miss Arizona or whatever, Miss USA Arizona. And she's like, you know, yeah, I'll be in this music video. I actually heard that the guy in the video's name is Tyler also, but watch this. She's, oh, let's go ziplining. This looks so fun. Oh my God, I can't wait to go ziplining and watch this. Yay. Boom. Another 910. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. So you tell me what to do with that. Okay. Simulation. I have no idea. I don't know. Like, someone's trying to tell me, like, hey, this world's not real. Anyway. All right. So let's do this. The body language assessment, for Erika Kirk and Trump at the event. It's NFL time, and that means it's time for you to join Prize Picks. I don't understand. What's daily fantasy? I'll explain that later. What you need to know right this second is that if you deposit $5 and put it in play, they will guarantee give you a free $50 regardless of whether or not you win with that $5 entry fee. Wait, I deposit $5 and I get $50 back regardless of whether I win. Yes, that's correct. So that'd be a 10x return guaranteed. Yeah, that's correct. So who wouldn't do that? I don't know, man. You tell me. Everybody is doing it. So tell us what else we get aside from $50 free. Well, you get to play the best daily fantasy game on the entire internet. Talk to me like a child and explain to me how to play play. PrizePicks could not make this game more simple. You're going to pick which sport you want to play, and then you're going to start picking players that you're going to add to your roster. Then we're going to decide whether they're going to get more or less than the stat line provided by PrizePicks. We're going Shedeur Sanders, and we're going more because we are eternal optimists. Let's say you want to start small and you put $5 in play on your first roster. You can win up to $187.50. But if you're a big baller and you want to put, let's say, $50 in play, you can win up to $1,875. But let's say you are a big wallet gangster and you want to put $500 into a single roster. You can win up to $18,750 if all of your players deliver. Now, we also got some new features coming in with this new football season, and you're going to be able to play the same player up to 3 times with 3 different stat lines if you want. It's already live on Major League Baseball and WNBA. When you go to PrizePicks, you use the link in the description and you sign up and you use promo code JesseOnFire, you are going to get a free $50 once you put $5 in play. Use the link in the description, sign up using promo code JesseOnFire, put in $5 in play, and get your free $50 back. That's a 10x return. You are welcome. I love all of you guys. Let's go. I'm actually going to start it right here, and I'm going to hold my opinion to keep the suspense until after he has talked through it, and then I have some very important words to say about this. I think.
Ask Erika, please come out. Erika, please come out. Thank you.
Okay, so first off,
let me just say something real quick, okay? So let me tell you what my read on that is, okay? My genuine read on that, absolutely 100% unbiased, genuine read is that's like Trump's trying to he's trying to comfort her for real. Like he's treating her like a daughter right there. So I don't know. That's my honest read. And I've heard people whose opinion I respect, say otherwise. And I'm like, but I honestly hadn't looked at it super close, and watching it that time, really watching it, I feel very confident saying that there's nothing nefarious there from either of them at all. She is just he's the president of the United States, man. Do you think that she's looking at him as some kind of suitor? You think you guys really think he's that big of a scumbag that he's on stage? Really? I realize there's plenty of people who would say yes, but I don't agree with that. And I'm really good at this, I'm really good at this. Anyway, let's let the body language guy talk.
Let's talk about this really quick. In 2012, Erika Kirk, before she was even a Kirk, won Miss Arizona 2012 and participated in Miss USA 2012. And at the time, Miss Universe was co-owned by Donald Trump. She also went on to work in the organization in casting and other roles as well. And there haven't been any sources that have flat out confirmed that they had a working relationship or knew each other back then. But there are a lot of people running with this idea on social media, and there is a possibility that their relationship predates, her being married to Charlie Kirk by quite some time. There's a possibility there. So regardless of that, he introduces her and asks her to come out on stage, and he steps away from the podium and turns his attention towards her. So he's left the mic at this point, his attention is towards her, and he's applauding as she's approaching, and as she gets close, we see him greet her with both hands up like this. Now, this is very interesting when you consider that even when he shakes hands with men, Donald Trump very often extends his hand palm up like this, then grabs the hand, turns this way, and pulls them in. Now, exposing the palms pretty much everywhere in the world is a show of good intention. I mean you no harm. Which is why, when we want to show that our hands are empty, we've got nothing, palms come out like this. We show that we don't mean harm. And in a greeting, if the palms are up, it's the same message. It's showing I have nothing to hide. I am greeting you openly. So he opens up like this to greet her. Now with her, we see a very visible shift in her nonverbal communication, because at first, as she approaches him, she holds him in a very professional way. It's not this big bear hug. She brings her arms up like this on the inside and grabs his arms. And this is something we see a lot in professional settings when a greeting is happening. I'm from Quebec, French-speaking Canada, so it's very common to see la bise, you know, 2 kisses, 1 on each cheek. So it's very commonly done like this, where the hands come up like this, just to show like professional intent. And it's a way to kind of keep this distance as you do the 2 kisses like this. So she does that, and immediately after that, after they greet each other with this professional kind of kiss, she completely melts into him. It's not just with the arms that go around him, her head also just melts into his shoulder. And if you notice, his behavior shifts as well, because at first when she hugs him, he kind of taps her on the arm like this, but then as he notices she's not letting go, he grips on tight to her as well. So we've gone from professional to friendly and comforting. And as he's holding on to her, we see this expression that we often see with tight embraces, which is this kind of showing the teeth with this kind of thing. But what really stood out to me is that after that moment, we see on his face, it's not huge, but we see small markers of the universal expression of sadness. If you look at his eyebrows, we saw what we were talking about earlier, they're together and drawn up a little bit. We're seeing that line on the glabella, and we're even seeing some tension in the chin there that's pushing that lip up. And the reason I noted this is because I haven't very often seen that expression on Trump. So I think in this moment, as he was hugging her and she didn't let go, I think in that moment, some emotion got through to him. And then we see the exact same shift that we just saw happen again, because he takes her hand and walks her over to the microphone, and she gets closer, lets go of the hand, and puts her arm around him, signaling him that she's still seeking comfort. And it's unclear what's happening because I can't see his hand, but in the way that her body moves, it seems like there's either a rubbing or a tapping or some kind of thing like that for comfort that's continuing. So both times it's, you know, he accepted her. She went from professional to seeking comfort. He provides comfort. Then he walks her over the microphone. She again seeks comfort, and he provides comfort. And then something happened that the online discourse to me is just hilarious, because he points to the picture of Charlie where it would be, and he says something, either about the picture or about Charlie. He points and he says something. She looks up, sees it, looks in that direction, and then she does this with her hand. As she looks down,
that means love in sign language. Do not tell me that they're going to say that that's some devil shit. Please don't tell me that people are that stupid. Please tell me that people are not that stupid. Let's see.
And we see, again, just a cocktail of emotions. There's a bit of smiling there, and she's happy. There's a bit of sadness, a bit of anger, a whole bunch of stuff going on, but she does this with her hand. And I saw quite a few commenters online go, oh my God, did you guys notice? She's satanic. She did the sign of the devil. That's a sign of the devil. Oh my God, she's been a devil worshiper this whole time. And I have a couple of things to say about that. First of all, if anyone is going to be out there trying to bust devil worship.
Here, I have an idea, guys. Here, let's just do this. I don't need his help on this one. Sign language love. I even knew that, dude. Okay, or I love you. Sorry, guys. It's this. Sign language. I love you. That's what she threw up at him. Fucking idiots. Okay. Which brings me to the portion where I give you guys my opinion, okay? Listen, dude, I have no idea about anything related to this case, like basically none. I'm very, very confused. There's so much information thrown around. I think that I feel very confident that the radical leftists are very involved. I think the cultural reaction to this on the left is so crazy that, like, that's actually the most concerning part of this, honestly. But, like, here's the deal. Is it possible that Erika Kirk made some devil's bargain with Israel and then they blew him up with a, remote bomb? Sure. But what is the percentage of likelihood that that's the case? Okay. And I'll tell you exactly why that's very important. Okay. So let's say it's, if we're being like crazy generous, 5%. Okay. Well, what that leaves is 95% that what had just happened is she watched her husband get murdered in the, imagine what that video looks like to Charlie's wife, okay? Mother of his children. When, I mean, it's hard for me to watch, and I didn't even actually know him in real life. I just felt like I knew him from watching his videos. Like his wife, can you imagine the level of trauma that she's experiencing, right? Or has experienced, and is now like, she's probably, I mean, like she's clearly to me in some form of denial, I think is what's actually going on. And the whirlwind of attention and all that stuff is like, she's not fully processing it yet. Because that's what I've always heard happens to people with that, like something like that happens. But it leaves a 95% likelihood also if you're a person who throws that out into the world. Like you're like, if I came out here and I was like, look, here is why I suspect Erika Kirk murdered Charlie. It means it's a 95% chance that you are a person who is accusing a mother and widow of the most horrific crime ever that she did not do. In addition to what she's dealing with now, she has to deal with that shit. So unless you're pretty fucking sure of yourself that Erika did it and you have some information that I don't know, it is incredibly irresponsible and super poor taste to put that out into the internet as if it's like any other type of conspiracy theory. Like going like, oh, you know, like maybe Israel did it with a remote bomb. Who cares, dude? You know, these guys kill people all the time. You know what I mean? Like, oh no. We were suspicious that Israel blew up Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Oh, geez. Who would have believed it? But it's a completely different thing to throw out there that you suspect his wife did it. Okay. Because when you start saying that, people start saying that. Okay. You think that she wants to deal with that for the rest of her life? That should keep people from talking about that, just that on its own. Okay.